Good morning, Miss Emery's third graders. I hope everyone is doing well. As you all know, we started reading The Last Stop on Market Street yesterday, and I just wanted to finish up where we were. We already did our first half of questions yesterday, so yesterday I had you all describe what you know about a life in a busy city, who helps make a community function smoothly, and how can people in the same place experience it differently. And we got to the first two questions during reading yesterday, which are what do the pictures show about CJ's community, and what does CJ learn from Nana through their conversations? So we're going to answer the last two during reading today, and I'm going to have you answer some after we finish reading. And then I will go over what we need to do. Let me see. Where were we, everyone? Oh, we were at the man singing. Okay. I remember now. All right. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the busy city, or out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended, and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin and CJ dropped it in the man's hat. The last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, "I'm glad we came." He thought his Nana might laugh, her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now come on." The end. So, our last two prompts are, how does the city setting shape CJ's experience? So, what I noticed is that seeing all the different people around him and the different scenery throughout the city, it helped him see how even in the same city, there's so many different aspects to it. So, for example, the church that they left, it looked like it was on a nicer side of town. The soup kitchen looks like it was on a side of town that needed a little extra help. And our vocabulary word, I wanted to ask, what does grateful mean based on Nana's use of the word? So, when Miss Emery thinks of grateful, I think of being thankful for something that I have. So, for example, I'm thankful for my family and my pets. But grateful just means that you're thankful for what you do have, rather than being upset that you don't have something. Now, our last three prompts before we get started on the rest of this, I wanted to ask, what lesson does CJ learn about appreciating his community? So, I think that CJ learned that even though his perspective is just one side of how the city is, the people around him taught him that the city is different for everyone. For example, the blind man, the elderly woman with curlers and butterflies, the soup kitchen, Miss Trixie and her new hat, the sunglass man, and Mr. Bobo. They all live on the same side of town, but they have different experiences. So I think that the soup kitchen helped him kind of better understand how to be in tune and appreciate what he has. And how does the story show the beauty of diverse communities? Well, for example, the nice young gentleman with the tattoos, Mr. Bobo, Miss Trixie, Nana and CJ, they're all from different walks of life, meaning they all have different experiences of life, and yet they can all come together and, ride the bus and get along at the end of the day. So I think that shows the beauty of togetherness and being united under one thing, for example, being in the same community. And why do you think the author chose a city setting? Well, from my perspective, I think the author chose a city setting because if he chose elsewhere, it might not have played out the same way. For example, if he chose a place outside of the city, there might not have been as many people, and the lesson would not have, gotten across to CJ. Whereas with the city, there's so many different people, so many different schedules, so many different things that Nana could teach CJ to better look at and understand the community. Now,